Welcome everybody to the X Factor podcast today. Welcome on this Tuesday morning here. Sorry I haven't been getting much of episodes in the last week. I had some family stuff going on, so we're gonna get right back into it today, and we get right back in track. So we got a lot of stuff I gotta talk about today. With March Madness, NFL news, wrestling news, and we're in WrestleMania week, so there's a lot to talk about. But I'm going to get right in here and tell you that I was doing the roster reviews. I'm going to restart all that, and that's going to go all on for next week after WrestleMania. And I'm going to do that after every main pay-per-view. So like WrestleMania, after SummerSlam, after Rumble. I'm not going to do it after Survivor Series because, it's just Survivor Series. So, and then after Mania, I'll do it again. So, but I just gotta say, my bracket's officially fucked. Thanks to San Diego State, they have beat Alabama. I had Alabama beating Texas, and Texas unfortunately lost to Miami. And so everyone in my Final Four, everyone from my Final Four is now out. So, San Diego State will face FAU, and then Miami will face UConn. I think Miami will defeat UConn, and I think San Diego State will defeat FAU. And then as of for that, I think San Diego State will beat Miami. So, as of for my women's bracket, I'm doing pretty good, 92% so far. The only thing I have wrong in my Final Four is I had Indiana going and LSU ended up going. So, I do have Iowa winning it all regarding what the circumstance is. So, that's pretty much all that for March Madness. I'm fucked, so we're going to get right to some NFL news here. We have a lot to talk about, so here we go right into it. Alright, we have a lot to talk about. So, first thing, DJ Chark has went. I just had it right in my notes here. Carolina Panthers, I forgot. Yeah, he signed with the Carolina Panthers over the weekend. Like I said, Panthers have been doing a lot of great things this offseason. So seeing them grab another receiver that they can rely on is some great news to hear. So another news, Bob Wagner goes back to Seattle in a 1-year deal. I know bringing back a veteran, and I said with Devin Bush, if they bring him back, he can mentor Devin Bush and help him get to the level he needs to get to. So, but that's not the big news. That's not the big news that we're talking about here today. Well, before I get into that, the NFL has allowed players to wear the number 0. So that's gonna be pretty cool to see. A lot of zeros we're going to see on that field, I'm assuming. So, but the big news is, though, a player named Lamar Jackson has officially asked for a trade. Apparently, he asked it on March 3rd or March 2nd of this year. So, but I'm going to get right into a little something here. The teams that could potentially trade for him. Because there's a couple teams that could trade for him. The only issue is with Lamar Jackson is, though, he wants the big contract. He wants the mega $1 million. Like, he wants the mega contract. And that's hard with a lot of teams based off how many great players they got on that team with the contracts. And that's where the whole Lamar situation gets out of hand. Because if the Ravens give him that money that he wants, then, how is he going to get receivers in? Like, they bring in Nelson Aguilar, but that ain't going to help much. It's not really it's kind of a fishy, sticky little situation they got going there. So, as I'm thinking of teams here, teams that could potentially do it, New York Jets. That'd be one of the top spots, in my opinion. I know they're in this whole Aaron Rodgers situation here, which I know is, they're getting down to the wire with some of their stuff. So, but if the Rodgers thing doesn't go through, even though Rodgers does want to play for the Jets, if it doesn't go through, Jets could potentially trade a couple of their things away to get Lamar Jackson, which I think would be great for them. Because, they already got Breece Hall. They already got They don't have Elijah Moore anymore. They got Miracle Hardman. They got that rookie receiver they got last year. Can't remember his name at the moment. Um, I could think about him too. I just can't remember his name. But they got them, and with how they can do a lot of different things with that offense if they have Lamar Jackson. So another team that could potentially trade for Lamar Jackson, the Las Vegas Raiders. I know they just got Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jimmy Garoppolo ain't the future. That's just facts. And if the Raiders really want to go full in, they really want to go in for a Super Bowl contending spot, bring in Lamar. Him and Devontae Adams, ooh. Give me goosebumps right there. That's going to be looking good. Of course, Ravens, they're going to need a quarterback now. Steelers could potentially be a spot with Kenny Pickett. People don't know how his future is going to go, but they're not going to trade him to Pittsburgh. Tennessee Titans, maybe. The Colts, maybe. The Texans, maybe. If Texans don't get a quarterback, boom, they can get Lamar. Those are 3 teams right there in the AFC South that could potentially need a quarterback. So, those are 3 teams that are, and I'm gonna look up some. I'm gonna think about some trade out things. I'm gonna put that in notes. I'm gonna put that in tomorrow's episode. I'm gonna put down what each team should trade for Lamar. So, Eagles, no. Cowboys would be a swap Dak for Lamar. I don't think that would happen, but that would be pretty cool. But no. Giants need a quarterback. I don't give a damn. Daniel Jones sucks. And then the Commanders and Giants are 2 teams that could potentially go for a quarterback. 49ers. I know they have Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, but Brock Purdy, I'm telling you right now, if Kyle Shanahan leaves that offense, he's a bum. Trey Lance, I feel the same way. If Kyle Shanahan leaves, he's a bum. Bring Lamar in, I think he'll do way better than each quarter. They might go undefeated, to be honest with you. So, that's just what I feel. Seattle needs a quarterback. The Rams need a quarterback. Cardinals don't need a quarterback because they already got Kyler, and depending on how he does next year, they don't need to worry about any quarterback situation. So, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, boom, all quarterback need teams. Vikings, if I was the Vikings, I'd definitely look into it with Kirk Cousins going to be 33, 34 this year. Detroit, I would definitely look into it as well, even though Jared Goff is getting better and the fans in Detroit are trying to like Jared Goff. But I think Lamar Jackson would be a upgrade to Jared Goff. Packers, like I said, Aaron Rodgers swap maybe. That could do something. Chicago, no, they got Fields. Buccaneers, maybe. Panthers, maybe. Saints, maybe. Falcons, maybe. The whole NFC, honestly, based off what the NFC looks like for quarterbacks, it's like Lamar. If Lamar goes in there, he'll easily be the top 1-2 spot. It'll be him and Jalen Hurts at number 1 and 2. But I'm also gonna do something here. I'm gonna rank the NFC quarterbacks. So right now, number 1, Jalen Hurts. As we look into number 2, as the looks of it, I'm going Dak. Them 2 have pretty much, if Dak and Hurts weren't there, the whole NFC would look fucking terrible. So, Dak, Hurts, with Rodgers leaving, I'm not going to put Rodgers in that category. I'll put Kyler, Kurt, Jared Goff. And those are my top 5 for NFC quarterbacks. I'm gonna rank each quarterback in their own category later on in another episode. So, but like I said, the NFC needs a quarterback. A lot of NFC teams need quarterbacks. So, that's all pretty much for that stuff, and that's more drama we're getting to later in this week. By the way, happy 3/18 day or 3/28 day. We all know what that means. And if you're not an NFL fan, then, well, you might as well look it up. Sorry, Falcon fans, that's a hard day for you, but But we're going to get right into it here. We have some CM Punk drama. I have not talked much about CM Punk, but we're going to get right into it. And I know I am a huge CM Punk fan, as most of you people know, but some of the stuff that we've been going for last week is some interesting stuff. It started off with CM Punk posting a Instagram thing on his Instagram story, pretty much saying he was. I'll read it for you. I wasn't cleared to come back yet to wrestle. Then plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I never watched the Rocky movie. And I thought the idea sucked if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I never expected someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes. He said he's the boss, so I said okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that, and my health is more important. Dave Meltzer's a liar, Chris Jericho's a liar, and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, but I never put a company over my health again. So pretty much, he was supposed to wrestle at the pay-per-view. He wasn't cleared to wrestle yet the 2 weeks before, and Moxley did not want to lose to him. Moxley not wanting to lose to him sounds kind of fishy, but we'll get into more of that here in a minute here. So that happens, and then the Rocky 3 idea, I'm pretty sure was squash match, and then Punk comes back to wins. And the fact that Punk has never watched any Rocky movie, man, you're 44, man. Need to watch them. So, but Moxley didn't want to lose to him. They did the thing, whole all-out situation. And everyone, was acting like they know Punk. Like, everyone's been acting like, I knew Punk was like this. I knew Punk's ego would get in the way of all this. I knew Punk this. I knew Punk that. You guys didn't know shit. You guys are just going based off what Jericho says, Dave Meltzer says. You guys are going based off what fucking Kenny and they all say. And it's funny how all that is because they just report another thing. There are multiple superstars who don't want Punk back. You want me to name those guys? Chris Jericho, or Kenny, Young Bucks, Moxley, Hangman, Jericho. All guys that he has had beef with in the past year don't want him back. And the whole Hangman thing, I think Hangman didn't want to lose to him or whatever. Moxley didn't want to lose to him, and this whole shit happened. The Kenny Omega and Young Buck situation, all-out situation. And Chris Jericho pretty much saying that, he's a cancer to the locker room. I'm sorry. And everyone's saying how much big of CM Punk's ego is. Okay, so what's your excuse for Kenny, the Young Bucks, Jericho, Hangman, and all them? What do you explain? Oh, and then beef with Eddie Kingston, which I don't give a shit about what Eddie Kingston thinks. Eddie Kingston's he gets pissed off about every little thing. If you're talking about a drama queen, Eddie Kingston's on the top of that fucking list. I don't give a damn what you say. He gets his fucking dick twisted over the littlest shit. So, whatever. It doesn't really give a fuck to me. But what do you expect for Jericho and all them with how they are? And everyone's acting like they'd be better off without him. You didn't realize how much ratings have went down since Punk left? When Punk was on, many people watched. The all-out situation happened, and all the AEW little dick suckers turned on him because of Kenny and all them. Alright, so let me tell you this. Is all the AEW fanboys going to turn on Kenny if he leaves? Yeah, explain that one to me, dumbasses. Alright, so, because I'm sorry, AEW diehard fans are they're worse than any fan base. They might be worse than Philadelphia Eagle fans, by far. They act like this whole company is way better. They act like they're the god coming down to earth. They're acting like they're better than everyone else. No, they're not, realistically. And then people could say about how the crowds are much better in AEW. The AEW crowds will cheer for anything. It doesn't matter. They'll pretend they watch New Japan and all this shit. and they'll hear all these news and they'll watch all these highlights, and be like, oh, that guy's cool, but yet never really watched them. So all I gotta say is AEW fans are fucking stupid, and I love watching AEW. I love AEW. I love watching both, because to me, it's just professional wrestling. It's just professional wrestling. Call it fake, call it whatever you want to fucking call it. But when you're bumping and doing all this shit on the road 200 times a year, 200 to maybe 300 times a year, and then tell me how your body feels, and then tell me it's fake. So, whatever. Screw you guys too on that one. So, but I'm on a little bit of a rant here because this shit has been something that has been nonstop for the past 7-8 months maybe with this whole all out situation. Because with Punk, it's like Punk was quiet. Like he was quiet the entire time. It's not saying a word. And everyone's talking all this shit about him. He comes back, he says something, and then everyone has a problem with it. Like, he's allowed to defend himself, people. I'm defending him because first off, he did do something bad. He talked shit about the company. He talked shit about his bosses, the EVPs, Tony Khan. He was shit on the entire company. That's something you shouldn't do. I'm sorry. That's because if you're doing that in the real world, you're getting fired. I'm surprised he didn't get fired after all that. So, with that, he did do something wrong. How the fight started, I don't know. Everyone could say what they want about it, but that's just what they are gonna say. They can say what they want. We don't know what really happened. I don't give a damn what Dave says either, because he's just a fucking old damn stooge about everything. He's a fucking idiot. So is Brian Alvarez. Fuck them two, too. So, all that happened. People are talking shit about him. And I'm gonna. So, like I said, he did do something bad. He did. But there's a lot to the story that we're not hearing all this stuff about. The only thing I do agree with Punk on that all-out situation is the Colt Cabana thing. That he shouldn't have to be standing up here and talk about it 10 years after the fact. He should have to sit up there and talk about it. If Colt Cabana is the whole reason for this whole thing, so be it, whatever. But the matter of fact is, there's no reason to be talking about it. It happened 10 years ago. They're not friends. Okay, get over it. And Hangman, he's just a little... I'm sorry. Hangman as a wrestler, I never have a problem with. As a person, he just sounds like a bitch. Like, let me tell you, I'm sorry, the Young Bucks and all them, the Elite, whatever you call them, they're personally going to ruin the company by themselves. And I'm talking about the Young Bucks, Kenny, and Hangman. And if Kenny loses and it gets worse, I'm not going to really put much of the blame on Kenny. But I'm blaming the other guys because, they're like the NWO. They're ruining the whole company. And like I said, AEW is slowly becoming WCW all over again. I said that last week. If you tell me I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. It's becoming WCW all over again. But I just don't think it's going to go out of business anytime soon. Unless, the TV ratings or whatever. But back to all that, with the CM Punk situation, I do hope he comes back. Regardless of what anyone thinks. And there have been reports about younger people, like the younger talent, liking him. That's supposed to be great because you're supposed to be helping these younger guys get better, because once you're older, you're pretty much supposed to help the younger guys. And there's been a lot of reports where Punk has helped the younger guys. People who respect the business. People who, don't make a joke out of the business. Like, I was seeing something over the weekend about Jericho doing a slow-mo thing. It's stupid, and people were hating on it so much. And I seen I think it was Jushin Thunder Liger and someone else doing it. And people were like, oh my god, this is so cool. I'm like, okay, so Jericho does it, it's a problem. Jushin Thunder Liger does it, and oh my god, it's the best thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry. I think it's stupid how they do that, and with how, and I posted on Twitter, the same thing, like, why are you, they both did the same thing, but yeah, it's a problem when Jericho does it, whatever. But I still think the whole thing's stupid anyway, but that's just one thing I had to point out because, they were taking shit on Jericho. And I love Jericho. Punk, and that's the whole bad situation. I love Jericho, I love Punk, I love Kenny Omega. I love all those. I love those three right there. And yet they're all having beef at the same time. It's kind of hard to pick a side here. So, when they're all, getting right in that beef here, so. But as I said, they're all slowly killing the company by themselves. They all are. And it's sad, pretty much, that they're having to do all this shit. Because, in WWE, you never really had that issue with Punk. He had those issues, but he wanted to main event WrestleMania. And I believe he was promised that, too. But, that's just what... That's pretty much what... I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. But, we're going to get right near here with this Monday Night Raw review here. Because a lot happened on Raw, but that whole AEW situation is really starting to get under my skin, even though I'm just a fan. But still, when you have some of your favorite wrestlers acting like children, it's kind of hard. But we're going to get right into the Monday Night Raw stuff, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's get right into here. Miz TV was what started off the show, and he's interviewing Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. And as you know, they're having their 6-women tag match at WrestleMania against Damage Control. Miz goes on asking them about how, pretty much dissing the team, pretty much. So, it was interesting. The whole thing was interesting because Trish did not talk one bit. And it looks weird because Miz asked Becky questions, he asked Lita a question. Well, he asked Lita and Trish questions, but Trish didn't say a word. I'm sorry. Ever since Trish just came back, I love Trish, but she's getting on to something here. I have a turn coming our way. But Damage Control comes out. They try to confront them. And then Becky pretty much goes off and pretty much shits on how and what it feels like was a shoot, kind of, on how the Damage Control hasn't really done much since they came back, and how Io Sky's booking has been trash. It looked like she was dissing on the company a little bit, because without Io Sky was a former NXT Women's Champion. Now look at her. It looked like a shoot a little bit, but I don't know. But Io Sky is a great talent. I'm telling Io Sky and Bayley are probably the best two out of the group. Dakota Kai, I think she's good, but she's not as much as them two. So, but anyway, Becky versus Io Sky had a match, really good match. Becky ended up winning. Not surprised. Whether that's gonna be how the pay-per-view is gonna go at WrestleMania, I don't know. So, Seth and Mustafa Ali had a match. Pretty much all started because Mustafa Ali is acting positive now. I don't know about that. And one thing with Mustafa the last couple weeks is, since he's changed his old little character here, is I feel like there's been a little bit of a change in like my vibe with him. And I think him and Dolph should definitely become a tag team. I feel like, and I hate to bring up this comparison, but it's like an RK Bro kind of thing. It's the older guy doesn't want to be around when he's trying to teach the guy some lessons, and the younger guy's just like not taking it as much seriously, whatever. That's how I feel. I feel like if Mustafa and Dolph became a tag team, I think they'd be over a lot. So, another thing is, what happened to Carmella? Did she get hurt? Like, she tagged with Chelsea Green 2 weeks in a row, and then like we haven't seen her. I'm hoping she's not hurt. If she's hurt, hard to see. But Chelsea Green ends up being a tag team with Sonya Deville, which is another great tag team comparison to everyone that has WWE has put with Chelsea Green since she came back. It's been good. Like, it makes sense for them. Carmella, Sonya Deville, Piper Niven. And you guys might be like, why Piper Niven? If you think about it, almost nearly every big heel in wrestling has always had the bigger bodyguard person with him. Shawn Michaels had Diesel. That's all I pretty much I can think of at that point. But them too. And if you think about for the women's, anyone who's ever been with fucking Nia Jax. But Piper, if Chelsea Green want to go on a singles run, boom, Piper Niven will be perfect for her. You know, as a heel wise. So, but Sonya Deville and Green are now a tag team. They did end up beating Mia Yim and Candice LeRae later on that night, and they will be the last team in the showcase tag matches at WrestleMania. Still don't know what a showcase tag match is. For the men's, I feel like I know what they're doing. It's going to be either the winner of the Usos and winner of the Usos or Sami and Kevin at WrestleMania. Or if Sami and Kevin win, I feel like they're going to drop one of those titles and give them to the winner of the showcase matches. So, that's pretty much what I think is going to happen. Or they're going to be challengers next to them. Omos and Brock had a weigh-in. I had Brock weighing at like 250 or 250 or 260. I had Omos weighing at like 430. He ended up being 410. So I thought Omos was gonna beef up before their match. He in the last couple weeks he's been looking fat, so I didn't really know. Rhea Ripley had a interview, and pretty much talking about how, it's her destiny versus Charlotte's legacy, pretty much. And the build-up to WrestleMania with them two has not been really the best. And I feel like that with I think the only two ones that have been build up really great is Cody and Roman, Usos, and Kevin and Sami. But those are stuff that's been building on for months now. And maybe Gunther and Sheamus and Drew have been a little bit good build-up. But, Theory and Cena build-up has not been the best. They've only had one interaction with each other since WrestleMania, since Royal Rumble. So, Theory hasn't had a chance to get back at Cena. I feel like the Cena Theory match is going to be very underwhelming because they haven't had much interactions. It's our first match of the night for the U.S. title. I feel like it's going to be a quick match. That's what I feel like is going to happen. And if the match is not going to be as good as we all expect it, I'm most likely going to put most of the blame on Cena on here. Because, he is not the old Cena we all like. And, the Roman match, he hasn't really, but it wasn't really that good. I feel like after 2017, Cena just fell. He just fell off a cliff. Pretty much, and it's hard to see that with wrestlers like Cena. But that's what I feel like. It's just after 2017, it's just what else do you have to give to you? What else do you have to give yourself? Pretty much. So that's pretty much what I think. Have your own opinion. Don't really matter. Street Profits and Braun Strowman faced Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders in a 8-man tag. Street Profits and Braun Strowman and Ricochet ended up with a win. I thought it was a good match. I thought the crowd was going really hype for that match too. When Ivar, Otis, and Braun all got in the ring. I think if Big E was watching, that'd be the best part of his night. Big meaty men slapping meat. I feel like it was good overall. So, um, I think they're gonna have a banger of a Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. As of for the women, I don't really know, but as for the men, boom, I think they're gonna have bangers because we've already seen them all be in the ring at the same time. So, Cody Rhodes had an interview, pretty much same thing as he did last week. That Solo's not ready, which Solo and Cody had a big main event match. I'm gonna talk about that right now. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I honestly thought for a little bit Solo was gonna beat Cody. That's really what I thought. And the Usos come out, try to interfere, and then Sami and Kevin come out. And I feel like that's gonna happen with Roman too. Usos and Solo are gonna try to interfere. Sami and Kevin come out, but you need someone to take out Solo. Boom, you got Randy Orton. That's what I feel is gonna happen. So Solo ends up with the loss. His first loss on the main roster. It was a clean sweep loss. Something I did not expect to happen. I thought it was going to be some dirty disqualification type deal. But Solo loses, giving Cody more of an advantage to WrestleMania. So, Cody Rhodes and Roman will face each other will be face-to-face on Friday, 2 days before their main event match at WrestleMania. I will be getting in my Stand Deliver predictions and my WrestleMania predictions in Saturday morning. So we all know what's going to be officially for that night. So, just let you know, that's pretty much what I got for that. I might watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. That's just a big might. And if I don't, I'll look at some of the highlights over the weekend and review it on Monday, or I will watch it and review it. I'll review it on Monday, pretty much. So, because this whole weekend, I'm just the only thing I'm gonna post on Saturday is my predictions for WrestleMania. That's all I'm gonna post, and then I will be done until Monday. Monday, possibly Tuesday. Because there's not really much to talk about on Monday. But actually, yeah, I'll talk about WrestleMania. So, yeah, I will post Monday. It's going to be a long episode. So, Theory had a segment, and they had it placed in the arena before everyone came in. And I thought he had a great promo. I thought it was great. Talking about, he doesn't care what everyone thinks. That Cena can, he doesn't see anything in Theory, but Theory, he believes in himself and all this stuff. And I do believe Theory is the future of the company, whether you like it or not. Theory's before whether he was Vince's protege. I had it like a Triple H thing. I thought it was we have our next Triple H, whatever. Ooh, and then more people are starting comparing him to Cena. I'm like, I can really see it now. Like, I fuck this Triple H comparison. Boom, the Cena comparison fits just perfectly. So, great to see that. I'm hoping Theory does win, because having Cena, and I see everyone on Twitter, TikTok, whatever, saying Cena needs to win. I'm sorry, people on TikTok and Twitter, the fan bases for wrestling on social media are fucking stupid, and I'm one of them. But I think there's actually a few that I don't have a problem with, though. But there's a lot of them that they're fucking stupid. So, but I think Cena needs to lose to Theory. I don't think Cena needs to win. I think he needs to lose to Theory. Only because why have him hold the title? What's the point? I get, giving him one more championship run, and I get the first time he won the world title was in Hollywood. The first WrestleMania he was at, he won, first WrestleMania he won the U.S. title. And I feel like this might be his last WrestleMania. I feel like he's going to lose for the U.S. title. And if Cena wins, has an open challenge, loses the next time on Raw, I don't really see the point of that either. Unless they're going to bring someone big to take over. Like, if Cena's actually going to have one more run in WWE, one more big run with him, I think he should win it. But if he's only there for a night or two, why the hell bring him back? And I think if Cena does win, have Theory beat him a couple weeks after, or a month after, or whatever. Have at least 2 matches with him. So Theory can get his spot back up. So that's pretty much what I see in that. I don't think Cena needs to win. I just think it's a dream match for them that everyone's been wanting. Boom, give it to him. But otherwise, I think Cena's run is pretty much become to an end at this point. So, but Theory, great promo. Damian Priest versus Rey Mysterio. Another little short match here. Rey ended up with the win. Rey ended up with the win because of disqualification because Dominic took him out. And then Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma showed up. And I feel like Legado del Fantasma is more of a family to Rey than Dom is at this point, based off what they're doing with him. So, and then Demon Finn Balor will be back. We'll probably get the Brood Edge maybe with Gangrel, maybe Christian if AEW allows it. But we'll see Demon Finn Balor. So, Dolph Ziggler faced Gunther. Gunther pretty much destroyed him. I feel like Dolph has become more of a jobber at this point. Hopefully after WrestleMania, and I know how everyone is like, where's this guy? Why is this guy getting jobbed out? Why is this guy getting jobbed out? You really gotta think about it for a second here, because when WrestleMania season comes, it fucks a lot of people up. Only because of the schedule, building someone up, I feel like after WrestleMania, you get to restart all that. Restart your build. Restart building everything up. Rebuild some of those guys that haven't been showing much. Rebuild some of those guys who have been winning much. I feel like the Raw after WrestleMania should be the biggest show, Raw show. Raw and SmackDown the week after WrestleMania should be the best shows of the year. And I feel like this year it's gonna be one of the best that we've ever had. So, hoping it happens. But overall, I thought it was a pretty alright Raw. There was not really much to do because of last week till WrestleMania. So in a lot of those, you're not really gonna build up a lot of those rivalries after WrestleMania. So, I thought it was a good show. Tomorrow I'm gonna get right into NXT drama. I'll put down the trade packages I have for Lamar. And if any more CM Punk news happens, I'll rant again about that stuff. So, have a great day. That's all I got. Bye.